back again, cutting again. So I'm gonna keep going by the camper here. This is now day 2, I guess, cutting in this area. And yeah, see what we can get done today. Brought some paper, gonna burn some of the branches and whatnot again, get some more of this rotten junk out of here. So I'd like to try and burn a bunch of this stuff while we still have a bunch of snow. Well, I made the executive decision to kind of cut a trail from by the camper through here and then back out to the road there. So then at least, hopefully if I can pack this down enough, I can bring the trailer in and then I can pick up all the logs in here. And these stumps you can't do anything about. Don't want to cut into them because you just mess with the chain, which I already did. Hit something under the snow there. Every time you're cutting this area, right? Because everything is sand and rock, and the trees have sand right in them because as they grow it carries the sand in. The chains just don't last. All right, just taking one load at a time. The pile over there is slowly burning down. It's all wet stuff, so not doing very great, but every bit helps. Well, got the tree closest to the road all done, but I was getting so much brush in my way, I just figured load it up, kind of sketch, and I'm gonna try and get it over there and then put it in the fire. Probably gonna lose about half of it, but at least it'll be closer. Supervisors, cutting more trees. So kind of from there to the camper is where I cut last time. Now we cut all through here, we're burning. Another beautiful morning for cutting trees. Get the old girl going. Everyone was playing with it. There's something magical about the old girl firing up in the morning. We got nothing. Hopefully it's just a security thing. Come on, come on, come on. Oh yeah. She's ready for another day. Old girl just won't die. Right, Tegan? So what's the goal today?
To clean up the rest of the fallen trees that got knocked over with the big storm last year. Just make it look pretty.
Yeah, so you can see all the stumps in here from the fallen trees that I took out the other day. And then we kind of did another section here, and then now we're going to do a section there, and today we should have this whole area cleaned up. We got 2 deadheads that are going to come down too. Get a fire going down in the swamp there, burn a bunch of the branches. Got the cats, got the dogs, everyone's out to help us. But yeah, essentially, because what's happening in October?
Want to have our wedding here, so.
Somewhere in here. Ultimately, we know there's going to be pictures and stuff that might show this in the background, so we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Basically, we can cut trees anywhere because there's trees everywhere that need to be cut or could be cut. So we're just picking the firewood that is also where we need to clean up. Because we could cut like all these ones behind us that we've been trying to cut for the last like 5 years. Onyx! Onyx! Come here! Puppy, come! Running away on us there. Come on, Onyx! Come on, baby girl. Stick around. There you go. Good girl. You stay here. All right, we are back at it again today on Firewood. So kind of had a sort of somewhat lazy morning where I was trying to figure out more solar panel battery related issues. So I was kind of stuck in the under the house there trying to figure that out. But now get to do something fun out in the tractor. My dad is cutting trees on the other side of the property there for himself. And it's a beautiful day. The sun is kind of out. It's -1-ish. And yeah, basically my plan is I'm just going to haul around a bunch of logs that we cut down by where the camper is, haul them across to where the firewood processing area is. And if I have time, I'll switch to the pallet forks, and then I will get the empty bins from the wood boiler, bring that over to the firewood processing area, and basically switch my bins. Talk about side quests there. So my dad, he locked the keys in the truck, and we had to go try and get the spare keys from his place. Spare keys completely gone, no idea. So we had to do the trick where you take shims of wood and just beat on them in between the door and the frame, bend it out, and then took a stick, and then because it did like a security lock on itself, we had to actually like flick the thing over, which luckily it's an old 2005 Chevy, so you can slide it. It's not the pull-up style. So we got it, but I wasted about an hour of my life. Oh yeah, almost got it all in one scoop. There's 2 little ones and that real big one fell off the end. I just couldn't get it. I was just at the end of the forks. But this is my preferred way of getting logs out of the bush. If you can cut them down to around 8 footers, get them piled up by the road so I can come in with either the pallet forks or the grapple. Grapple's nice because basically it's like pallet forks you get underneath and you clamp down over top of them so that way they don't roll off. Today, totally wildly different video. We have a Bobcat T519 telehandler that got dropped off, and we are testing it out, seeing if this is something in the future we might want to get ourselves into. Really no idea, but hey, might as well test it out. So what we've been doing today, you can see it's all muddy. I kind of tested it out already, but I'm just bringing firewood that we had cut, and that's full reach. So it has a 19-foot reach from the back of the boom to the top of the boom, which means that basically you can go like 20 feet up, but you're only really maybe 8-10 feet in front of yourself. But yeah, it just has pretty standard joystick controls. You got up, down, in, out, and the whole 9 yards. It also has a neat function where you can, you hold that button, and you go sideways, it'll automatically shake the bucket for you. Not that it's that terribly difficult to do it yourself. The in and out retract is the thumb control here. So that's in, out. The other button or the other toggle is for attachment if you have on here with hydraulics. So far so good. Do some more testing and I'll give you guys a little bit of a rundown on it. About, I don't know, 10 feet closer to the pile. I successfully, in about 30 seconds, taught Tegan how to drive this thing. It's pretty straightforward. Like I was saying to her, it's a lot more automotive than it is heavy equipment, this machine. A lot of it, I think, is the steering wheel, and you enter from the side. So it's just, you open the door, you sit down like you're in a car, you have a steering wheel, and you don't necessarily have to mess around with the crab function. That's advanced or whatever, but in terms of just driving forward, backwards, bucket, up, down, left, right, it's super easy to run this. I think my 2 biggest complaints about this so far, 3 I guess. 1, it is rough. So compared to the forklift that I use at work all the time, which is an old all-terrain or off-road forklift, whatever you want to call it, that is very rough. This is similar to that. The tractor rides way smoother, and I don't know if that's just because the tires are bigger and have more air in them. So the tires themselves give you a little bit of give. The other complaint would be this door closes so hard that you can see, even like this is a rental unit, it's only got 500 hours, but all the little clips that hold this plastic in are broken off, because if you just close it normally, it doesn't close all the way. See the air gap? So you have to just slam the thing. So that's kind of gonna lead to problems, I'm pretty sure. The third thing would be the air conditioning. So I got it dialed down a little bit now just to talk to you guys, but it's not that cool. The tractor definitely has a way better air conditioning system, or it just keeps the sun out better. I don't know if it's a glass thing. Like through the glass right now, my shoulders are burning just from the sun coming in, and it's April right now. It's pretty cool. It's maybe plus 15 today, so it's not that terribly hot, and it just seems like the AC just can't really keep up And yeah, if you open the door to get out and you come back in, you're done. It just, the hot air comes in, the cold air is gone, and you basically have to just try and shoot the vents directly on you and hope for the best. Figured I'd set you guys up. It has a little phone mount that they included in this, so it's almost the perfect spot for taking videos, but I'm gonna see if it'll show you guys kind of how rough this really is to drive around. It's definitely, like I said, it's worse than the tractor, but probably a little bit better than that forklift. And she's a heavy girl, so the tractor is about 5,000 pounds. This thing is 10,000 pounds, so it's double the weight, but it is more than double the lifting capacity at the frame. So once you're lifting, I think at max distance in front and lift is about 1,800 pounds you can lift, and then up close you're 5,500. So it's a lot of weight. I moved around a couple giant boulders that I know that I could move with the tractor. Press a button and you hit your stick. There we go. Rocks herself out clean. I do find, at least flatten stuff out, you extend the boom just a little bit more so you can see all of it. Then, same thing, you press straight ahead, you hit the button. Now, it should be in the float. It just kind of lets the weight of the arm do the work. Today should be the final day of getting firewood done, today or tomorrow. This weekend we'll call it. Well, note to self, when this thing has just been filled up with fuel and it's topped up with oil, it's very top heavy. And like you saw, as I was going up, the whole thing just flipped right over. So it broke all my table off here, which isn't the end of the world. That's easy to fix. Probably just do one of those. Ah yeah, good enough. The big problem is this handle. The cast aluminum snapped on the bottom. Oh! Nothing's ever easy, right? Well, I do have one trick up my sleeve that I can go try. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'll give it a shot. Right. So I've got this old oxypropane torch. I got a regular torch, a brush, and then I've got these things which are supposed to be some miracle aluminum brazing welding rod thing. I don't know. Saw them at a show once, bought some. Never got them to work. Maybe it'll work on this. So, cast aluminum is one of the worst things to try and fix or weld. The key with aluminum is always you want it as absolutely clean as possible. And then even before you start to, like once you have it clean, you still have to re-clean it right before you actually try and weld, because it oxidizes so fast. It creates a protective layer on the outside. Like when steel rusts, it turns all, you know, brown and gets that layer on it. Aluminum, it just stays gray. So that's why it's hard to tell. You don't really see that it's oxidizing, but once it's oxidized, that's what protects it. So that's why aluminum doesn't rust, but technically is rusted. It's just a different type of rust, essentially. So that being said, we have to get these nice and toasty warm. I'm not exactly sure how I want to do this. I need like 4 hands here. I only have 1 hand. Oh, we're done. That top piece just disintegrated. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's cooked. All right, so this is what I found. I got Tegan's drill. I got a couple scrap pieces of steel to choose from. I'm thinking you do some sort of a something. That kind of hits. All right, well, let's get it set up now that we can. But yeah, get a load of this pile. It's taller than the tarp shed almost. So those are 14-foot logs. And I got the 8-footers. And then back over yonder, Tegan is hand filling the bins. Oh, she's even stacking it nicely. So now we can get, so theoretically this is a third of a cord then if it's stacked. If it's loose, it's a quarter. If it's stacked, it's a third. We want to empty all this out. This is like really nice seasoned stuff from a couple years ago. We just need to make space in here so we can put more building materials inside. We didn't bother looking for another one because I'm pretty sure I don't have one. It's a weird size. But we filled 4 more bins by hand, just split and tossed it in, you know, the old-fashioned way. Not the end of the world. So realistically, we did hardly a dent on the lumber or the logs so far. Tegan got 6 1/4 bins out of the shed, so that was way more than we thought we were going to get, and that's stacked. Basically everything that we've cut is either stuff that was dangerous by the house, like we cut the other day. We took down like 22 or 25 trees, and then a lot of these 8-footers are from down the hiking trail, ones that had blown over, and all I did was just cut out that 8-foot chunk and throw it out of the way, and then came back, picked it up. And then there were some by the shed we took down that were, you know, scary ones that might land in the shed. And then a bunch of them just from that little tornado last year. And there's probably, I kid you not, there's probably easily 50 to 100 more trees that are on my list. It just never ends. So we have these 2 crates left. That'll be tomorrow's adventure. We got dinner plans right now I gotta head off to. Dinner plans are always get in the way of work, right? I'm still not sure how I want to do that. I still don't know if I want to, try cutting the plastic parts of the totes in half and then putting that, you know, over top of each and every one of the bins, which kind of the way I have them stacked in there would be very hard because I've got them all just ever so nicely lined up there. So if I did want to put them on, I'd have to climb over top. Might be a pain in the butt. I'm thinking I might just make a couple of them, and then when I take over like my 3 or 4 bins to the boiler, I'll just put those on top instead of that plywood. And then for the ones that are all together over yonder, those ones I'm thinking maybe I just get a giant tarp and I just tarp the whole thing. All right, we're back. New belt on there my dad grabbed today. We spent the morning, we did a huge 1-ton truckload of firewood for my dad. He is cutting for not this winter, but the winter after. So we gave him a bunch of the more green stuff. He needs like 16-inch logs. I cut 18s. So we kind of had to pick through, and I cut some more stuff for him, but that's all done. Gonna put a bin here to fill with that. Might end up being 2 bins worth of slabs, but I'm gonna cut a bunch of these slabs right now. We'll fill the bin by hand. That'll be out of here. And as you can see, we have barely any of a dent out of this. So we got lots of wood to refill it throughout the winter, because we're probably gonna have to fill the bins at least one more round in the winter, or have to buy a bunch more bins. We'll see. Well, that is it. That is all. Clean everything up, put it all away, and that'll be it again for firewood. Tegan's been stacking logs all day. She's dying. That's how she's got all the muscles. So if I step out of line, she can just put me back in check. But yeah, bit of a dent out of that pile. Shed is empty now. Put building materials there. Didn't touch any 8-footers. Stack all that stuff up. We have a leaky carb on this baby we got to get looked at too, and then we're going to get it in and see if we can get that piece replaced and the pump worked on before next fall, winter. And yeah, other than that, once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. It is pretty amazing that just probably almost, I would say, got to be 3 months of burn time, and this is all the ash that I have. That's it, just this one little bucket, and it's almost just pure ash. All the fuel has been burnt right out of it. Pretty amazing.